Coming out, and we're going to work the core in as many fun ways as we can move our body in an hour. So we'll start right away. How's that sound? Go ahead and lay back, and we're just going to focus on our breath for just a few moments, because I want you to connect to your breath and just relax. Just take a moment to relax. And listen to the sound of your breath coming in and out. So feeling your body resting into the earth. You can have your knees bent or your legs straight. And just notice the breath as it comes in and out. And listen to the sound as you feel the navel move away from the spine as you inhale. Breathing in and out through the nose. And then as you exhale, feel the navel slowly draw back towards the spine. And if you like, you can even place your hands there just to feel that connection with your breath. So as we continue to move our bodies, we'll always simply be reminded of this breath. So this is kind of the first part of the belly. So inhale, feel the navel move away from the spine. And then as you exhale, feel the navel draw back towards the spine. And on the second part, we'll take the right hand. If you have your hands at your belly, take your right hand to your right rib cage. And then just feel the breath. As you inhale, feel the navel and now the ribs open from the bottom, middle, and top of the ribs. And then as you exhale, feel the navel slowly draw back towards the spine. Breathing out the ribs, exhaling fully. And then we'll add the third part, place the left hand over your heart. And we'll take the breath all the way up. So inhale, belly, ribs, and chest. Feel the heart buoyant and the collarbones spread wide. And then exhale, belly, ribs, and chest. And just let it be effortless. So don't make this work. Just let it be effortless. Letting go of all the events of the morning and just simply noticing the breath. Listen to the silence beneath the breath. And then from here, we'll go ahead and draw your knees in towards your chest for a moment. Give yourself a little squeeze, a little hug, and then circle out your ankles. Just wake up the feet. Relax the shoulders and all the tiny muscles in the face. And then circle the other direction. There you go. Spread the toes out. And then from here, just keep your right knee in, extend your left leg, flexing the feet. Relax your shoulders. Good, and keep the feet flexed, toes pointed upward. And then switch, draw the left knee in. And now we'll start to add some core work with this. So just do what you can, listen to your body. Take the modifications if you have any tension in your low back. So just keep listening to the feedback your body will give you. Draw your right knee back into the chest. Good. Flex and press out through the left heel towards the bottom of your mat. And then from here, inhale. And as you exhale, roll up chin to chest. Good. And you could stay here or reach your hands. So only if that is your body's allowing you to. Good. And then from there, extend your right leg to the sky. And keep flowing with your breath. Now hug your knee back in. And head back, and then switch. Left knee in, right leg out. Good. Take a big inhale. Exhale, roll up. Good. Chin towards the knee. And then maybe reach your hands. And then from there, extend the top leg straight up to the sky. Good. And hug the knee back in, head back, switch, right knee in. Hugging it in nice and close. Relax your shoulders. Take a big inhale. Exhale, roll up. Good. And then reach your hands once more. Extend the top leg to the sky. Good, and then from there, maybe adding a little bit more, lower your right leg to meet the left. Fan your toes out. Good, take your right leg back up to the sky, knee to chest, head back. And switch. Left knee in. Inhale. Exhale, roll up, keeping the feet flexed. Good. And then from here, reach your hands. Left leg to the sky. Lower your left to meet the right. Left leg to the sky. Knee to chest, head back. Good, and then just hug your knees into your chest for a moment. Both knees in, circle out your ankles again. Fan those little toes out, relax your shoulders. And then circle the other way. Good, and then from here, we'll go ahead and just roll up, taking a seat. And then come right up into down dog. So just take your time to get there. Hands at the top of the mat, spread your fingers wide, and lengthen the hips back. Up and back to down dog. So feet are hip width or a little bit wider. Hands are shoulder width apart. Allow the head and neck to relax. Just let them fall off. And breathe. Now from here, let's go ahead and just take your feet together, right and left. So your big toes touch. And then stretch your right leg to the sky. It doesn't have to go high. Just feel the length on both sides of the waist. Good. Then draw your right knee in towards your chest and coil the navel back. Good. And then ever so slowly, look up between your hands, and as slowly as possible, using your core, step your right foot up between your hands. So using your core, very slowly. Slowly, slower, slower. And then the foot goes up. Good. So then from here, go ahead and bring your hands to your front back. Hover forward, use your core. Good, press through the back big toe. Cinch in around the waist. And then stretch your fingertips straight back. So just keep breathing, listening to your breath. And then from here, we'll slowly take the torso upright and reach your arms overhead. And just notice your balance. So a balance for me today is going to be imperative because otherwise I'm going to fall off. So I will take it easy because it will be imperative. So go ahead and bring the hands back behind you, hover forward, hold it here. Good, and then step your left foot up to meet the right. Reach your arms overhead for chair pose. Yeah, sink low into the hips. And then using your core, feel your rib cage lengthen away from the hips, getting longer in the waist. Good, and then step your right foot back, coming back into that lunge position. Reach your hands back behind you, sweep them back and hover forward, cinch in around the waist. Just keep breathing, don't take yourself too serious. And then from here, bring both hands to the top of the mat and step back into plank position. Shoulders right over the wrist. You can drop to your knees to modify. So pull the heart forward, maybe even look forward slightly. Good. And on or off your knees, bend your elbows, hover, pause, elbows in, and then push back up. Good, and then go right back to down dog. Keep listening to your breath. So we'll stretch the left leg high, lengthen the left sideways, and the right. Good. And then we'll draw the left knee in towards the chest, and just hold it there, hover. So we have the left knee in. Now take your left knee over towards your left elbow in plank. Left knee over towards left elbow, pull it up, up, up. There you go, we're in plank. Good, and then stretch it high, lengthen back. Send your left foot to the earth. Right leg goes high, lengthen, lift. Keep breathing. Then pull your right knee into your chest. Good, now hover forward in plank, bring your right knee towards your right elbow. And just lift your knee and your ankle high. As high as you can, there you go. And then stretch it back into down dog, right leg high. And send your right foot to the earth. Good, look up between your hands and step both feet right up between the hands. Coming into a gentle forward fold. Just let your head and neck relax. Just shake it out. Yes and no. Good. And then hands to hips, elbows back, shoulders back. We'll come all the way up to standing. Good. Reach your arms overhead. Big inhale. And then exhale, float right back down into your old lap. Forward fold. Good, right back down. Nose towards your knees. Then take your hands to your shins, lift your heart into a flat back. So maybe even just look up just a little bit. Hollow out the low belly. So lengthen your spine. Keep hollowing out the lower belly. Good, and then forward fold, walking the belly down the legs. Nose towards your knees. Good, and then bring both hands to the earth, stepping into plank position. Right back we go. So in plank position, we're going to lift the right heel. Push back through that right heel and hover. And it doesn't have to be lifted high. Just an inch or so above the earth. And then switch. So you can drop to your knees at any time to do this if you get tired. And switch. So it's kind of like you're marching a little bit. And switch. Press back through the heels and look forward a little bit, it'll help. Good, and then switch, keep going. So just go at your own pace. It's march, march, march. Keep breathing. All right, so now we're getting a little fire going. Go ahead and lift up and back to down dog. So in down dog, again, lift your right leg high. Stretch it out. And then we'll look up between the hands, step your right foot forward, and we'll come all the way up into warrior two. All right, so the front heel intersects the back. Arch, your feet are nice and wide. Stretch out the arms, lengthen, and then square the front knee, bending the front knee. How you guys doing? All right, everybody's good. Reach through the middle finger, of both hands, and then we're going to flow a little bit. So we're going to take and bring the left hand to the left hip, turn your right hand to the sky, reverse warrior, lengthen. So take a big inhale here, and then exhale, bring the right elbow to the right thigh or to the earth, inside the right foot, and stretch the left arm overhead. Good. Inhale, pull back up into warrior two. So now we'll add a little core. So right or left hand to right hip, or just let it kind of hover out in front. Reverse warrior, right arm overhead. So it can just kind of hover out in front using your core to kind of pick you up out of the low back. Keep cinching in around the waist. And just imagine you can still keep that front knee. Look for your front knee so your big toe, you can still see your big toe. Knee, that front knee way over towards the pinky toe a little bit. There you go. You got it. Now from here, we'll come back it through warrior two. And this time again, we'll hover if possible. So you can bring the elbow to the thigh or hover this right arm, shoulder inside the right knee, and the right hand to the left hip, and left arm overhead. So I'll turn around so you can see here. There we go, and breathe here. So hover, only if you want to go deeper into the core. Okay, so it might be too much. You're not awake yet. Just keep breathing, listen to your body. Good, pull back up into warrior two. Good, and then we'll windmill the hands all the way to the top of the mat. And then float that right leg to the sky. Stretch it back into three-legged down dog. Press through the hands. Try to keep both sides of the waist equal. Hands, palms flat. Flat, flat, flat. Good. Set your right foot to the earth. Left leg lifts. Look up between the hands. Step your left foot up, coming into warrior two on this side. All right. Square your front knee. Take a seat. Reach your arms wide. And breathe. So listen to your breath. Connect once more, just like we did earlier. Then turn your left hand to the sky. Right hand, right hip to start with. Stretch the left arm overhead. So keep lifting up and out of the waist. And imagine you can cinch in around the waist. Getting longer. Lifting out of the low back. And then we'll float back through warrior two. Pausing here for a moment. Look at your front knee. Make sure it's not drifting in. Knee over ankle. There you go. And then let's either elbow to thigh to start with, or hand inside the foot. Right arm reaching overhead. So anywhere along the way. Keep taking the tailbone, lengthening towards that back heel. and then pull yourself back up, warrior two. And then reverse this warrior. Once again, left hand turns to the sky. Now you can add the hand out, just hovering out in front of the navel. Lifting up and out of the waist, or you can use your hand for support. And breathe. Good. And then float through warrior two. And then left arm, you can come inside the left leg, hovering. Right arm overhead. Good. Or your hand can rest somewhere. So if you just want to let it hover, using a little bit more core, you can do that. Keep breathing here. Then pull yourself back up, warrior two. Oh, how you guys doing? All right, excellent. Release your hands to the top of the mat and just step back into down dog. Or actually stretch your left leg to the sky. Let's get that side. Lengthen the left leg. Good, and then lower the left foot to the earth. All right, so from here, move forward into plank position. And then again, you can be on or off your knees if you need to modify. Otherwise, bring your right knee in towards your chest, hover, coil back. And then you're going to sweep it over to the right elbow, and then over to the left elbow, and back to the center. Good, and stretch it back. And left side, left knee in. So bring it over to the left, then to the right, back to the center. And back we go, back to plank. Good, lower to your knees, and as slowly as possible. So we're gonna pick up our feet. Our torso is one straight line, and just take and tuck a little bit of a tailbone under, and then pull your, so you kind of do a little, for lack of a better word, crunchy in the abs. We're not doing crunches today, but, all right, so then from here, turn the eyes of the elbows forward, and start to lower the elbows, or lower the chest. Nice and slow. Elbows in though. Keep those elbows in. That's it. All the way to the belly. All the way down. Point your toes back. Good. And then from here, get this out of the way. Take your elbows out in front for space pose. So your elbows are under your shoulders and your hands are flat. Point your toes back and your feet or your legs are about hip width apart. Good. And then from here, so you're up on your elbows. Your heart's going to pull through. There we go. And then lengthen both sides of the waist, get longer. Good, heart pulls through more. Good. And then get the legs real strong so your kneecaps come off the ground. Squeeze your thighs. But your toes, all 10 toes, every one is trying to touch, even the pinky one. Good. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and start to lift up and come into slowly into forearm plank. So the first move is pick up your navel. Good. And then pick up your hip points. Good. And then turn your toes under. Get ready. Thighs. And now knees. You're in forearm plank. Breathe. Try not to look back at your belly. Look forward. Just a tiny bit. It helps. And smiling helps too. It can't hurt. All right. And then lower your knees. We're going to go down just as slow. Point your toes back. Good. Lower your thighs and your hip points. Keep breathing. And your belly. And then pull your heart back through. Good. And again, take your navel back. Pick up your belly button. Good. And then hip points off. Turn your back toes under. Pick up your thighs and your knees. Push back through the inner heels. And again, it's helpful if you look just a little bit forward, pull your heart forward. Good, lower your knees. So you don't have to lift off. You can just stay here. You don't have to lift off. And then tops of your feet. And then your thighs. Good, and your hip points and your belly, and then pull the heart through. Good, I think that's sufficient. Take your hands alongside your chest and lift up and back into down dog. So we go up and back. Take your time to get there. And just relax, breathe. Let your head and neck relax. Let your head just simply fall off. So from down dog, start to walk your hands back towards your feet. Good. And we'll come into somewhat of a wider forward fold, nose towards your shake your head out. Good, and then take your hands to your hips. You're taking the elbows back, shoulders back, come all the way up to standing. Good. So, I'm going to attempt this up here, where I'm a little bit further from the earth, but I trust I can do this. So I'm going to go ahead, and we're just going to bring some balance into it. So let your right heel come off the ground. Let your left leg grow some roots. So feel the ball of the big toe on the left foot and the ball of the pinky toe. Kind of fan the toes out. Feel real sturdy. Feel the inner heel and the outer heel of the left foot. Good. And then, if possible, pick up your right knee, draw it towards your chest. There we go. Good. So you can stay here. I want to offer you layers because everybody here is different, so we're all just going to do our best. And then maybe hug your right knee towards your chest. Good. You can stay here, or if appropriate for your body today, maybe your left hand can grab the outer edge of your right foot. Good. So you can stay here, or maybe start to stretch that right leg out and reach your right hand back behind you. And just breathe. Focus. Anywhere along the way. Good. And then slowly bend that right knee. Good. And release. Set your right foot to the earth. All right, so anywhere along the way is fine. You're still balancing. So even if you just picked up your other heel, you're still balancing. So don't judge wherever you are is perfect. All right, so let's try the other foot. So your right foot is growing roots. Your left heel is going to lift. You can stay here. Notice your core is strong, your tail is under, your chest is lifting. And then maybe pick up your left knee. Good. And hold it here. Possibly maybe bring the left knee closer to your chest. Hold it here. I don't know how to wipe out these mannequins, but if it has to be, it has to be. All right, and then maybe your right hand will grab the outer edge of your left foot. Maybe that's as far as you go today. Or you can start to stretch that left leg towards straight and then reach the other hand back. And breathe here. Good, and then slowly bend that knee once again and then gently release. Good, we made it there. So let's try the other side and we'll transition. It's going to go a little quicker. So bring the right knee into the chest. So if from here, you can stay here, grab the foot, stretch it out. Good. And then slowly release. It's like you're swimming through space. Reach the right hand down to the ground. The right leg is lifting. And then if possible, either left hand to left hip or left arm reaching to the sky, turning your chest to the left. And we won't stay there long, so don't worry. Come all the way back up. Balance, 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 balance. Come back up to where we were. Right knee hugging, right arm out, maybe right foot. Good. So that's just a little playful fun. And then slowly release, so don't take it too serious. All right, so it's just a little swim through space, kind of like the Matrix. Going very slow. So play. All right, so let's try the other side. So we have the right foot, growing those roots. Left heel lifts. This is good here. You can just stay here and watch, everybody fall over and all right, otherwise, go ahead and bring your left knee up. Breathe. Good. Maybe the hands hug the knee. Maybe your right hand grabs the outer edge of the left foot. Again, we're not going to stay here long. We're just going to give it a little length and release. And again, swimming through space, left hand will start to reach towards the earth. Bend your right knee as much as you need to get your hand there. And then start to turn your chest open to the right. Good, right arm reaches to the sky. Good, swim back up through that matrix, all the way back up. Yep, if you have to touch down like I did, that's fine. Back to just for a moment, just to play. And then release. Good. Okay, let's come to the top of the mat and just take a deep connecting breath. Because that was all just for fun. That was just playful fun. So let's go again. Hands to the heart. Come to the top of the mat. Find your feet. Lift all 10 toes. Press the ball of the big toe and the ball of the pinky toe. So we'll just reconnect to the feet so we can Gather our breath. Good. Lay your toes back down if they were lifting. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, release your hands to reaching towards the earth. And then inhale, sweep overhead. And then we'll exhale, swan dive down, forward fold, nose towards your knees. Inhale, lift the heart to a flat back, hands to shins, scoop the belly. From here, release both hands to the earth, step back into plank position. There we go, good. Pause here. Plank is such a wonderful way to invite the core to play. Keep breathing. Try not to let your head hang. It actually, you'll be a little, you'll feel a little stronger in the core if you just look a tiny bit forward. Good, and breathe. And then from here, let's go ahead and lower to our forearms. So forearm, forearm. You can drop to your knees at any time. And then we're coming back up, hand, hand. This was a core class, right? Yeah. And then forearm, forearm. I'm bringing all my core fun. And then hand, hand. Good, and breathe. Pull the heart forward, try not to let your head hang. Good, forearm, forearm. And then pause. Go ahead, lower to your knees, and then all the way down to your belly. Nice. All right, and then get yourself so you can actually rest your forehead on, let's see, we're going to have the right arm on the top of the left. And then bring your forehead to that hand. Okay, just for a moment. And yeah, just take a relaxing moment. Okay, just connect to your breath. Bring that joy back into your body, that ease. And then we'll keep the left forearm on the ground, and we're just going to lift our head with our right hand, following with. You're not pushing with your right hand, you're just going to lift up. Right hand just follows with. Good, and your left forearm is pressing. And then slowly release, relax. And lift. Pressing those abs into the mat. And lower. And lift. And lower. Good, and then switch, opposite hand on top. All right. So gather your breath, take a big inhale. And exhale out fully. Good, so your left hand will follow along when you lift your head. So lift the head, and your right forearm presses. Good, feel your legs strong into the mat yet. Tops of the feet still pressing, squeeze the quads. There you go, and lower. And lift. Keep breathing. Good, and lower. So your hand's not pushing up or anything, it's just following along. And lift. And lower. Good, and then go ahead and just bring your hands alongside your body. Elbows back, shoulders back, start to lift into Cobra. Press the palms. And then we'll pick up the lower belly, come all the way up and back into down dog. And just take your time. And just continue to listen to your body. Good, and then we'll slowly lower to our knees. And then just walk the knees right through and take your hand or feet out in front of you. Good. And just keep the tops of the feet on the ground for now. Good. And then we'll go ahead and lean back, get the core start to engage. And then just take your hands to your thighs and imagine you were trying to pull them apart, but the legs are going to resist. So you're going to use the legs. So we're getting those inner thighs to start to fire. Keep leaning back. Keep trying to pull the legs apart, but the legs are resisting. Keep lifting your heart. Good, now keep that energy in the legs, and then we'll go ahead, you can just keep your hands there for now, lift your feet. So if that's too hard, just lift one foot or the other. Keep trying to pull the legs apart, and the legs are resisting. Keep lifting the heart. Good, and then lower. Good, and then just cross the right shin in front. So take a seat here. Good, and then we'll go ahead and just pick up the hips, adjust. Good, and then we'll just start to walk the hands forward. And just feel the hips smiling. Especially the right hip. Try to lead with the heart. So the head's trying to get there, but just let the heart lead the way. Good, and then gently come up. We'll set the feet flat to the earth once more. All right, and then take your hands to the inner thighs. Yep, try to pull apart. Good, thighs resist. Keep squeezing, and then lean back, maybe lift. Good, feel the core strong, and from here you can take the hands down and reach. Good, and if you want to straighten the legs, you can do that, but just, whoa, yep, we're going to start to float the boat. So lift, keep lifting your heart. Your legs are still squeezing, ankles together, knees together, squeezing. Good, and then slowly come out, cross the left shin in front. You guys are going to be so ready for this weekend. Okay, and then your left shin's in front. Let's go ahead. Well, let's pick up for a second so it's easier to adjust. So let's kind of settle in. And then float the heart forward, rock the hands forward. So not important how far you get, more so you feel, I feel some sensation in the left hip. So breathe into that space. Good, and then we'll gently come back up again. Bring those knees together. Good, and this time we're just going to sit and pause here. And we're just going to take the hands out front. Little genie arms. I wish that was oh, that's good. Good, good. Lean back. Good, and hold. Feel all the fire going here. Good, and breathe. Good, and then from here, just bring the right elbow towards the right waist. And come back to center. Keep squeezing the legs together. Good. And towards the left. Good. And back to center. And towards the right. So just keep listening to your body. Good. Come back to center. And to the left. Good. Back to center. Good. This time reach your arms out in front. Good. And just make hands, palms flat. Yep. You can. So we're going to take the hands up. And then we'll drop them over to the right. Good, and you know what? We're going to try to keep the torso stable. So arms up, try not to move the torso, hands left. So you can turn, but try not to go forward and back. Hands up, and then right, because it's hard to stay stable. So just do what you can. Back to the top, and to the left. Good, up we go, to the top, and to the right. Good, now we're going to add a little bit more up to the top, and then left knee in. Go back to top, right knee in. Good, and keep breathing. So let's go. Yeah, you guys look like synchronized swimmers. This is beautiful. I need a photo. Photo, anybody? Up we go, and to the left. Good, back and forth. Feel the core starting to shake a little bit. Just keep breathing deep. Big, full breaths. Good, and then we'll slowly come back to the top, pause if you can, and then hands to the thighs, and then just sit up for a second. Good. So keep your feet a little bit wider now. We're just going to stretch that out. So take your feet wide, your knees are bent. We're going to inhale, elbows in, scoop the heart through, and then exhale, round and hunch, chin to chest. Good, inhale up, and exhale back. Inhale, lift, and exhale. Good, and then we'll come back to a seated position. And then from here, let's go ahead and just stretch out the left leg, and we'll walk the right foot in. As close as it will comfortably come, where you're not leaning too far back, you can still stay seated tall. Good, so we're here. So now we'll just go ahead and keep the left hand at that right leg. Stretch your right arm to the sky, get nice and tall. Now feel all the length in your spine, and then take that hand and bring it behind you. Good, so the right hand is a kickstand to help you stay lifting forward. Good, and then stretch your left arm to the sky, get longer. And then we'll take the left arm and wrap it a little deeper around this right thigh. So you give it a hug. If your shoulders can stay level, maybe you can sneak that arm to the outside, but not if it gets all askew up here. So just, it's still the same, nothing much changes, maybe you can do that. Otherwise, It's just a gentle twist. Now your left leg is your anchor, so flex that left foot. And again, try to stay forward so your belly meets your thigh. Staying close to the thigh for now. And breathe. Good. And then gently untwist. Stretch the right leg out. And then we'll walk that left foot in. Your right leg is the anchor, so keep your right heel on the earth, flexing. Walk the left foot in. So if you walk the left foot in and you start to go back, 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 maybe keep your left foot further right. Or maybe wider. That's fine. Anywhere along the way. And then we'll stretch the left arm. Gotta look at my hand. Left arm to the sky. And then sweep it back behind you. It's kind of like a kickstand to keep you out of the low back. It's going to help you sit forward, pubic bone forward. Good. And then stretch your right arm to the sky, get taller. And then we'll wrap the right arm around the left, hugging the belly to the thigh. And just using this pose just to give your internal organs a nice squeeze, a good hug. And just gently turning from the navel, the ribs, and the chest. And if you want to add a deeper variation, just feel free. Bust a move. Since we got all this, jamming music. Do what you need to do. Keep breathing. So it's just a nice, gentle release. And then we'll slowly unwind. Good. Stretch your legs out. Sitting tall, bring one hand to the chest and one hand to the belly. I'm not sure how far I'll go back, so let's see. So from here, curl your navel back. Good. Curl back. Use your core. Curl back. And then start to lean back. Lean back. Lean back, and maybe lift your feet. Hold. Good. Slowly come up. That's it. Breathe. Lift. Inhale. And then release your hands in just a real easy forward fold. Not going to stay long. It's just a release. Fold. Then come up. Good. It's just a little bit more movement. Hand, left hand, one hand to belly, one hand to heart. Good. Now curl back. Curl back. Use your core. Use your core. Use your core. Good, lean back, maybe the feet will lift. All right, keep breathing. And then slowly come up. Good. Release, gently fold, relax. So take advantage of the relaxing part. Good, so it's not a lot of work. Good, and then come up again. One more time. Third time lucky. Left hand, right heart, or right hand to heart. Good, curl back. So coil the navel back. Good, and then lean back, maybe pick up your feet. So try to relax your face. It's easier if you smile. Smiling muscles make you stronger. Okay, slowly come up, and then release. Come forward, and relax. And this time we'll stay for a moment here, okay? So just relax. So your feet are flexed. If you want to move more into the hamstrings, a little more active, contract the thighs. Good, now heart scoops forward. So we tend to kind of let the head lead the way. Imagine you were hinging more from the hips, and the belly would meet the thighs first, and then the chest, and then the head will just relax into it, so it's not as much into the rounding. Good, and then gently come up. We'll cross the ankles, and then we'll go ahead and move up and back into down dog. Up and back. And just alternate heel stretch back and forth. Back and forth. Just walk in the dog. Good, and then from here, just find your feet hip width apart. We'll bend the left knee. Good, turn your right heel towards your left foot. So your right foot pivots at a 45-degree angle or so. Good, and then press both hands firmly, press back. Good, keep lengthening back. And then just turn your chest a little bit to the right. So maybe you feel this is the right outer hip or the hamstring, wherever you're feeling, just breathe into that space. And then come back to center. Good, we'll bend the right knee. I'll try to walk it through. Bend the right knee. Turn your left heel towards your right foot, so your right foot, your toes are turned open at a 45. Good, now stretch the hips back, straight back. Groin lines back, good. And then from here, maybe turn your chest a little bit to the left. There you go. And just breathe into that left out again. Good, and then we'll slowly come back to center. Lower to your knees, and then we'll walk the knees through and take a seat once more. Good. And then from here, let's take the, bend the left knee and take your right shin out in front of the right shin out in front of the left. Okay, and your feet are flexed, and then if your hips allow you to, you can take your right ankle on top of the left thigh. Okay? Everybody, so wherever you are is great. Listen to your body. And then we're actually going to not stay here. Well, actually, we are. Let's just let that settle in. That's what I'm thinking. Let's let that settle in. So let your right knee relax. Try not to let your right ankle sickle. So if your right foot is up, if your foot's rolling in, maybe just take your right shin out front because it's harder on your knees. So just be really nice to your knees. If your foot can stay flexed, your knee doesn't have to touch the ground. It can be floating, that's okay. And if you had a block at home, you could put a block under there and just let that relax. Good. So wherever you are, just lean back onto your hands. And you'll start to feel some new sensation in the left hip flexor there. So sensation. So listen to your body. If it's allowing you to go back further, you can drop back onto your elbows. But if it's saying, you know what, I think I'm good where I am, just listen to your body because it actually knows quite a bit. And it's always giving you feedback. Typically we don't listen until there's a lot of pain. But just listen to the sensation first. Good. And breathe here. And maybe you can go all the way back if that seems like a good idea. So otherwise just stay upward wherever you were along the way. We always just move in layers. And then come back to your elbows, and then hands, and then we'll come all the way up. Ah, it's like a brand new hip. Let's go ahead and try the other side. So left shin either in front or on top, wherever it will comfortably rest. So one side's probably different than the other. That's normal. And just breathe. Notice if your foot is rolling in, probably better than to just set the left shin out front and just be nice to your knees. Are you guys doing any questions? Everybody can see you way in the back? You guys are good? That's amazing. Let's see like that. All right. So keep your feet flexed. You can stay here. This is good. You can feel stuff going on in the left hip. Great. If you want to lean back, you can do that. Maybe you'll go on to the forearms. One side might be different, so just listen. Good. Come out anywhere along the way. If all of a sudden you get there, you're like, oh, that's not good. So then just take your shin off, okay? So if you can stay there, go for it. If you want to lay all the way back, you can do that. Good. And then, no matter where you are, everybody uncross and just come onto your back with your knees bent, okay? So wherever you are is great. But come onto your back with your knees bent. All right. So our practice goes for another few minutes, and I don't want to forget about the core, because that's kind of our focus today. We don't have long. I'm just going to give you a few more minutes of some fun here. So go ahead and take both legs up to the sky, and just let them float for a moment. Just feel like, just enjoy just not doing anything. So really, really focus on, man, my legs are just floating. This feels great. Good, and then from here, we'll go ahead and bring our hands behind our head. Elbows wide, keeping the elbows wide, maybe just stack your hands so you don't pull on the back of the neck, your head will just rest in your cradle. Then lift your shoulders and breathe here. So this might be as far as you go. If you'd like to go further, lower your right leg either halfway or just so it's hovering above the earth. Good, and breathe. Try to get both shoulders to lift off. And then adding one more layer, bring your left leg across the body, squeeze your thighs together. Keep lifting both shoulders as best you can. Take your left leg back to the sky, right leg to the sky, head back. Let your legs float. Relax. Take a big inhale. Exhale, navel back, lift the shoulders. Good, elbows wide. Then lower your left leg either halfway or just so it's hovering above the earth. Get the legs strong, squeeze them. And then maybe bring your right leg across the body, squeeze your thighs together. So it's like a little twist tie, squeeze. Take your right leg back to the sky and left leg to meet. Let your head rest. Feel your legs relax like they're just being suspended. Inhale, exhale, lift the shoulders. Good. Lower the right leg either halfway or all the way. Maybe add the twist tie, squeeze the thighs, hold. Good. You can even now add a twist to the left. Right shoulder towards left. Keep squeezing, squeezing the left thighs. Here you go. Come back to the top. Right leg to the top, head back. Inhale. Exhale, navel back. Good. Lift the shoulders. Lower your left leg either halfway or all the way. Good. Bring your right leg across the body. Squeeze the thighs together. Maybe turn a little bit more right. Right shoulder going, or left shoulder going right. Keep squeezing the thighs. Good. Come back to the top. Left leg to meet. Head back. Relax your arms at your sides. Just let your legs float. Good. Then bend your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug. Relax your shoulders. And then set your feet on the ground. And reach your arms out like a T. I'm not going to be able to do that, but you guys go ahead. I'm just going to hang on wherever I can. So reach your arms out like a T. Palms flat. Good. If you have room. And then pick up your feet again. Good. And then we're just going to let our knees go to the right, but don't let them touch the ground. Good. And try to squeeze the legs together. Knees go right, just so they're hovering. Left shoulder stays on the ground if possible. Inhale. Exhale, pull the belly back, knees to the top. Inhale at the top, and then knees go the other way. Good. And breathe here. Hover if you can. And then come back to the top. Good. And set your feet to the earth. Keep your arms where they are. Inhale. And then exhale, knees go right. This time relax. So effort, and now no effort. Relax. Just keep your shoulder blades on the ground. And your focus here is to just breathe. That's your focus. Breathe and relax. And then inhale. And as you exhale, draw the knees back to center. Inhale at the top and exhale in the opposite direction. And you can turn your head to look right if you like. Adding a gentle twist. All the way up, right up through the crown of the head. Just listen to the sound of your breath as we start to slow everything down. Inhale, and as you exhale, drawing the navel back, knees to the top, using the core. Good, and then set the soles of the feet together for reclined cobbler's pose. Allow the knees to drift. So letting the groins deepen and the knees just float. And then hands can come to the belly or wherever you'd like to rest and focus on your breath. Good, and just let the body settle in here. And then from here, let's just go ahead and straighten out the legs and use the last few minutes of this class to just let your body absorb the practice. So just relax. You can stretch your legs out and let your hands open at your sides and just be willing to receive. So you're just going to open your whole system to all the energy that's around you and just allowing your body to receive that nurturing energy of the breath. And just let the breath go. Yeah, and just relax. Just relax. There's no right or wrong here. So letting go is just kind of that space. It almost feels like that space right before you would fall asleep. So your body kind of drops out, but yet you're going to just see if you can stay alert. Alert to all your senses. Use the senses. So you hear the sounds and the silence. And if the mind is busy, so what? Big deal. That's the nature of the mind to wander. Just keep coming back to your breath, noticing at the tip of the nose. Feeling the clothing on your skin and your body resting into the mat. Your ears are wide open to not only the sounds in this room, but the sounds beyond the room and the sounds beyond the silence. Allowing the sound of the bell to be a practice in mindfulness. So just using the ears to listen until the sound dissipates. Just a practice in mindfulness. Breath, start to add some gentle movement, keeping that mindfulness that you've just cultivated. Just feel the toes wiggle, feel the Hands move. Ooh, there we go. Snap, crackle, pop. And then maybe stretch overhead. If you find a foot over your head, just say hello. And then roll off to your side and take your time to come up and have a seat. Good. And then just take a moment to feel how your body feels, like from the moment you walked into the door to this moment. So just be present with all that you're feeling. Just take a deep breath into your body. And just feel the space that you've created. And then thank yourself. Namaste. So, what a cool, amazing group. Wow.